On a cool spring morning, the Beavertail Lighthouse beacon cuts through the morning fog, a job that has continued for over 250 years. Built from stone, concrete, and steel, the present-day lighthouse stands 70 feet tall, 100 feet from the edge of the cliff, and it casts its beam every 6 seconds for 15 miles. This is in stark contrast with the original structure, built in 1749 out of wood, and whose long-forgotten foundation was unearthed during the hurricane of 1938. Despite the advancement of other navigational aids, including radar and GPS, there is nothing like the visual flash burning through the mist to alert mariners to their location and proximity to the reefs and entrance to Narragansett Bay. Richard Chellis was 2 years old when his father, Carl S. Chellis, was the keeper of the Beavertail Light from 1938 until 1946. He lived there with his parents, and he has memories of his father's duties keeping up the Beavertail Lighthouse.
I remember going up the stairs of the lighthouse when I was about 2 years old, and I remember that Fresnel lens was in a very polished, in a very pristine condition. Being a lighthouse keeper meant that you had to maintain the property, you had to keep the light in working condition. As I remember my mother saying when I was growing up, recalling those years, that inspectors would periodically show up unannounced to see how everything was maintained and what kind of condition things were in. So needless to say, you had to maintain the light at all times. Basically it was a 24-hour-a-day job, 365 days a year, I mean, the navigation was essential for that.
Life was not as difficult on the Beavertail Lighthouse, which was built on land, as it was in scores of other lighthouses that were built on outposts at sea. These homes needed supplies and maintenance, which was furnished by an early branch of the Coast Guard called the Lighthouse Service. Robert Dennis worked aboard the lighthouse tender, Shrub. Shrub's duties included attending and supplying the lighthouses not accessible by land, and the sometimes treacherous job of maintaining the buoys and navigational aids up and down the New England coast.
The winter of '39, we had a lot of ice. The bay was frozen over way down below Prudence Island. But every time the tide went out, the ice would pull these navigation buoys under the ice, put the lamp out, the buoy would come back up and it's out. So we'd have to go out to the buoy, jump on it, now it's all covered in ice, jump on it, open the lantern, bail out all the salt water, get it dry, light it again with a match, because that's all it was, a little acetylene torch, and close it up. The next day we come out and do it again. There's something next time to sink it. The ice would just push it over. Wasn't much you could do, just go relight them.
Despite the dedicated and hard work by these civil servants, calamities at sea were unavoidable. Shipwrecks did occur, and still may occur, due to extreme weather and human error. Lifelong Jamestown resident Jim West recalls this shipwreck of the early 1930s.
A coal barge came on the east shore here, between Hull's Cove and here. Went ashore and we could get down to the shore. So everybody hauled coal that winter or rather. It was in the fall of the year, September. They didn't want to do anything, and so they sent out the word that anybody wanted to dig coal, go down and dig it. So we did. It was good coal too, I'll say that. It was the red ash and not the white ash. So it helped out a lot of people that year, I'll tell you, in the coalville.
As the fog begins to burn off, the Beavertail Lighthouse beacon fades against the brightening morning sky. In addition to marking the coastline, this lighthouse also houses a museum that commemorates the history and service of other Rhode Island lighthouses, in addition to the Beavertail Light.